be a great recipe for Memorial Day, and we're going to cook ribs. And it's, once again, as my trademark, is make it simple. And these are absolutely delicious, fall off the bone ribs. And you see here we have a very nice rub. There's about 15, 17 spices in here, and I will put that on my website, randallsouls.com, so you can get it because it's too long to tell you what it is. But this is an excellent rub. And now we're going to take off what's called the silver skin. If you look right here, there's a membrane right here, and this keeps the oils from flowing. It also can give it a chewy texture. So if you're really good at doing ribs, you remove the silver skin. And you use a butter knife, don't use a sharp knife. You just slip it under there. And this is tough stuff. It takes a lot of mojo to pick this up. But once you get it started like that, then I use a needle nose. It's just almost too hard to grasp with your hand. And you start pulling like that. And you can see it start to come off. You're not going to get 100% of it, but you can get a lot off, and it will make your ribs better, for sure. We just read where one place said if you're in a rib competition and you don't remove the silver skin, you lose. So they're pretty serious about this. So like I said, you're not going to get all of it off, but we'll get a good bit of it off. Sometimes I roll it in the needle nose like that. That's part of the fun of doing ribs, I guess. But boy, these are so good. We look forward to them. Usually do them Memorial Day and Labor Day. That's our excuse. So you can see, drag that right across there, and we got almost every bit of it out of there. A little more. So, take that aside. And we've got one rib ready to wrap here. Rub, I mean. And so, just sprinkle this rub on. It doesn't take a great deal to do this. And you're going to get it all over your hands. Almost look like you stained them when you finish, because this has paprika and oregano and all kinds of stuff in it. But it works, and we're going to put them in the fridge overnight. I'm going to show you them in the oven, but we're going to put them in the fridge overnight and let them sit. All right, just put a little bit more on there and be sure it's well covered, but don't overdo it. You're just wasting your rub, and that's a lot of expensive herbs in there, believe me. Herbs and spices. See what I mean about the fingers? They get to be a mess. And all you're going to do is you're going to wrap this up. Just pull it up like that, and about halfway turn it up. Like that. Make a crease. Fold it about 3 times. Really want to keep this, the steam and juices inside it. Makes it really good. And then what we're going to do when you cook them at about 300 degrees. I'm going to use convection because I'm going to have 3 layers of these things in the oven. We cook a lot of ribs. And lay that in there. And what we put the ribs down, the meat side up. It's an important point. And these things will just get so tender. And what you want to do is check them in the oven. Open them after about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and see if they are really falling off the bone. If they're not, keep cooking them another 30 minutes. They are so good. You see how simple this is. And that's it. And you just pop them in the oven, and everybody's there and ready to eat. Chow down. We've used this recipe for many years and it works. I haven't had a failure yet. So there they are. We're going to put them in the fridge, but I'll show you how they're going to look in the oven. See, we have 3 layers of them in there, and that's why you have to use convection. You couldn't do that in a regular oven. It just won't work. That convection moves the heat around. Convection is a fan blowing over a heating element, and that's what makes it work. So you're actually going to take those things, put them in the fridge, I would say 3 hours to overnight, and that would be plenty. And then pull them out, throw them in the oven, cook them, and you're going to have an awesome meal. So now the ribs are all ready. I've cooked them at 300 degrees on pure convection because I had 3 trays of them in there. And it took about 2.5 hours. So we're going to do the final step. We're going to open these things up, and you need to be careful because these things have steam in them if you seal them well. And they can burn you. Let's open it up like that. And you'll get a nice close-up of these beautiful steaks. They look great. Not steak, barbecue. Got my mind on steaks here. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? Just as tender as can be. Look at that. This comes right off the bone. So then we're gonna fold these up like that, nice and tight, just to keep the juices in the pan. And then we're gonna rub some barbecue on it. We use Sweet Baby Ray's. You can use anything you want. You can make your own, whatever suits your taste. This is just the final thing. Then we're gonna put them back in the oven for maybe 10 minutes. Some people cook them more or less. Some people put them on the grill like that. They like to put them back on the grill and sauce them out there. Give them a little smoke flavor. So that's it. That doesn't need to be real neat. And just put Sweet Baby Ray all over it. Boom, 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 boom. It's the good stuff. And then just smooth that out however you like. I like to get it all nice and covered. And what you don't want to do, however you do this, do not burn this. This is not, the sauce is full of sugar and you do not want to burn it, so don't do that. Don't use a high temperature or anything. We're just going to stick it back in the 300 degree oven, and it's good and hot in there. It's been on all day, hours. Seems like all day. Bottom. And this one. Let that sauce cook into it about 10 minutes. And then we will be ready to serve them up. It's going to be delicious. I'm so hungry already. All right, it's been about 10 minutes. We're going to take them out. I'll just take one out and get it ready for serving. Boy, it probably will fall off the bone when I take it in here. So put it in the, it is just so tender. Whew. There we go. So this is our meal. We have ribs, coleslaw, great coleslaw recipe. You can find that on Cooking with Souls. A little bit of corn and potato salad. This is really good. Simple potato salad, just a little mayonnaise in it. I can tell you about that later. But that's our meal. I hope you enjoy yours as much as we're going to enjoy ours. And I hope to see you on the next Cooking with Souls.